Hello, welcome to another week in our garden. What a week it's been. Torrential rain, high winds. This time of year to have a lot of wind is bad because everything's in leaf and everything's freshly grown and it blows over so easy. So there's been a little bit of damage in the garden, but I've left the garden alone and you'll find most things will stand themselves back up again. So now the other thing I've done this week, we had a little reprieve from the wind and the rain this morning, so I managed to get the strawberries strawed up at last. Very late this year, but I've managed to get it done. And I've also picked a few, which I'll show you what we've picked. We don't want too much rain on the strawberries as they ripen, so the straw will just hold the fruits clear of the floor. Okay. As you can see, I managed to get the straw on. I've lifted as many berries as I could, so the berries are not dragging on the floor, and it keeps the slugs from picking them up as well. There's quite a few coming through red, so the harvest will start in the next week or so. Now this is what I've picked this morning. We had a few in the greenhouse as well, so it's a nice start. I haven't eaten one yet, so I don't know what the taste are, but I'm sure it'll be delicious. And that one's mine. Diane can have that one. So the bigger ones have obviously been grown in the greenhouse. The smaller, medium-sized ones outside on this plot. And if you was picking for commercial, that would be a reject, and that one they'll go for jam making. Probably that one as well, but they're very nice. We shall enjoy those this evening after tea for a pudding. They will be very nice. All the currants are coming through nicely now. I noticed we have had a bird in here at some stage. I did manage to chase a sparrow out of here yesterday, but it's taken quite a few of the berries. So we'll have to be careful. It's when I'm in here doing the maintenance, they seem to come in with me, so I'll have to be more careful now. We'll go down and look at the new path I'm building, okay? Now we're down near bed B, which is the potato plot. Still a bit windy now. And some of these potatoes in the bad winds were blown right over. So I've left them alone, and as you can see, they've stood themselves back up a bit now. They're standing well now, and now the warmer weather's come in, and especially the damp, we have to be aware of the blight. Just keep your eye out for it now. As soon as you see it, get the sprays on it. Right down the bottom near the fruit trees now, and I've been making a new path. I got some flint chippings from the local builders merchant. It comes in 1 ton bags, and I've been wheelbarrowing it down in all the rain and wind, believe me, to get it done. I put it down between 2 and 3 inches deep. And the idea is, because it's flint, it doesn't move like when you're walking on gravel. So it's made an excellent path. It just needs time to settle, and I think it'd be a good path. As you can see, it doesn't move as you walk on it. I have put a membrane below to stop the weeds coming up, and it's fine. And as you can see, I'm about a third of the way up the garden now, and that's took a ton of gravel to do that. But it's excellent stuff, and it won't move. The rain we've had has brought everything on amazingly. The crops that are out of the wind have really benefited from the rain. Looking in here at the beans and the peas, the beans and the climbing peas have started to climb now. The dwarf ones are filling up and flowering quite well. The other thing I have noticed while I'm looking is there's weeds beginning to germinate everywhere. So as soon as I can, I'll get the hoe on. Now later today or probably tomorrow, we will plant the lettuce in there on each of those flanks so we can get them out and away. I'll just show you the cherry tree here. It's beginning to turn now, so I've had to put the net on. I had to put the net on to keep the thrushes off, or they'll be soon in there and eat all those. Not a big crop this year, but after the late frost we had, I think we've done rather well to get what we have. Very nice tree. Here we are in the shed. With the weather being so wet and the wind blowing about, I've decided the best place to be is in here putting the seed in. Now the seed we're going to put in will be the brassicas that will be going into the tunnels on bed A, as the ones that are ready are harvested. These ones will fall in, so there'll be a continuation right up till next spring. So we need to put the seed in now and grow the young plants, so we'll have something brassica wise to harvest in the spring. I've put the broccoli etc. in for autumn, but now I need to put something in to take over, some real hardy brassicas to get through the winter. So what I'm going to put in, this cauliflower. We call it Winter 3. It's a very, very hardy one, and that will give us cauliflowers Christmas into New Year. Very hardy. It's one of those good cauliflowers that covers its top up with its leaves, so it protects itself. You all know Savoys, they always do well in the winter, so I'll put those in. I'm also going to put a little bit of swede in. Don't need a lot of swede, but just enough to mix with the potato for dinners. That'd be very nice. The other thing we need to put in soon for winter are the main crop carrots. Now I'm going to put these in those frames. We're just waiting for the last of the lettuce to be harvested, and then these will go straight in, and then they'll be left in there until we require them for the house. These are all Autumn King 2. We grew them last year and there's absolutely fantastic in the clay lands, so they should be even better in the built up beds with the frames on. Now your salad crops that we put in on a continuous basis, these will still be seeding now. I shall put some more lettuce in, both varieties. The radish I just keep putting in all year. The ones between the potatoes are ready for harvesting now, so they need pulling. And I should just drop a row of radishes in anywhere in the garden where there's a bit of room. And of course your onions, pulling onions, we do those like the radishes. Where there's a space we'll just pop them in. We'll put the Lola Rosso in as well, so we can mix a little bit of red lettuce with the other ones on the plate. Look quite nice. To set the Savoys and the cauliflower, I'm going to set them in the cells. Also going to set the swede in the cells as well, because I tried it last year but the slugs let the lot off, so they'll go into cells. The carrots, the main crop, we'll put those in direct, and of course all these salads, except for the lettuce. I like to grow lettuce in the cells and then put them in. It's the same, if I put the seed in, as soon as they pop up the slugs will mow them off. I'm going to set these in these modules. The Winter 3 cauliflower and the Savoy cabbages today. Oh, remember though, when you are doing brassicas, this needs to be quite firm. And I've actually mixed a little bit of loam with the compost so I can firm it down, and then the plants will hold better in there. Then I should just drop 2 seed in every cell, top it off, put the label on, and then put them, I'll show you where I'm going to put them in a moment, And that'll be it for the winter cabbage and cauliflower. We will have the leeks coming through nicely, they'll be still there. The potatoes will be in here, all stored up nicely. The peas and the beans will be in the freezer for when we finish. The onions main crop, they'll also be hanging on these hooks up here, so we're looking forward to a good harvest. Let's hope the weather holds for us so we can grow the crops. I'll just show you where I'm going to put these seedlings, these seeds to grow on. And don't need greenhouse or anything, it's far too hot in there. So right, as soon as I've popped those seeds in, I shall put them into my trusty table frame. All I've done is put a bit of fleece on top, as you can see, and then just leave them to grow up, water them obviously and let them grow up. And the other thing I just quickly mention is the grapevine that's took a well battering with the wind. Right, as you can see, the grapevines took a massive battering in the wind. What should be up is hanging down, and so I'll have to, what I should do is I'll have to go through the lot, because it's ready for pruning back again, not to get these down. So I should go through the lot, check all the ties and re-tie. And I think with it being so strong growing, what we'll probably do is take one of these canes off here and take it and bring it across, put maybe 2 or 3 more of these lines across this side, so it's going right across. When we get up to the house, I'll show you the bottles of wine, or some of the wine that we made from this grape. It's absolutely delicious, very good wine. We actually made at the end 18 bottles, but now there's only 17 because it's rather nice. We've just popped into the house. It looks like it's going to rain. It's turning awfully dark outside. Now this is the wine that we made with the grapes. We bottled it up. Diane put the nice labels on. I put the tops on, and then I put the hairdryer on them. It's made them nice and tight. And it's as you can see, it's a nice looking wine. Right. There you are. Now for all those nice kind people that have subscribed to our channel, I would like to say thank you and cheers. Bye. That's nice. That is very nice. I think we'll better finish this a little bit. Cheers everyone. Thank you for subscribing. Hello there. Friday today. We're in the greenhouse. As you can see, all the baskets have gone. They're now on the cottage. We'll show you the impatient balls in a moment in the courtyard. But I just wanted to show you how the tomatoes are coming along. They're all doing very well now. I'm still restricting the water a little on the ones that are not carrying tomatoes. And as they get tomatoes on them, I shall start feeding once a week and start increasing the water. We have peppers in here doing rather well, and some cucumbers. The cucumber behind me is actually starting now to put little cucumbers on, so I've increased its water as well, but it gets fed once a week. Nice little cucumbers forming there. These are full cucumbers, they're not the short ones. We tried those last year, but Diane says they weren't so good. So we've gone back to the old types, the long types cucumbers. Now they're putting fruit on, I will increase the water so that they can fill up. Peppers are doing quite well. As soon as we've taken the strawberries out, I shall pot up 4 more peppers. They're actually showing 1 or 2 flowers, so that's good. The strawberry plants, I potted up last year and brought in this year to try and get a little earlier. They're all fruiting very well. These are the ones that are producing the very large berries. Obviously they get a bit of extra water in here than the ones down the garden, but they're colouring up nicely. We'll let them finish. Yeah, as soon as the strawberries are finished fruiting, we'll put them outside, and I'll put my peppers in 10-litre pots along here. I've got them waiting, so as soon as these are done, so we don't waste the space, we'll go straight in with the peppers. And the idea being that when the tomatoes are finished, I'll take the tomatoes out of these boxes and put the peppers straight in, so they get that late growth and we get some extra peppers off them towards the end of the season. Right, we'll just pop into the courtyard and we'll show you how the impatient balls are looking now. I've moved them across this morning. I have held them for a short while because of that awful wind, but I've put them out this morning, so we'll show you how they look. Right, we're in the courtyard. I think it's clouding over a little bit, doesn't it? The impatient balls are hung now, one each side of the boot room here. As you can see, they look quite nice. This is the second one. As you see, still a little bit of growing still to do. But we need to, hopefully, as long as there's not any wind, they'll be alright. If we get a lot of wind, I'll pop them back in the greenhouse. That'll be about it for this week. It's only a short video because of the weather. I loved the rain, but I didn't like that wind at all. As you can see, impatiens are out. The other baskets are out. We'll take you around the cottage next week and show you all the flowers all set up. They look quite nice. And then we'll do some harvesting next week as well. So a short one. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next week. Okay, bye now.